On your screen is the feeble KD Knight. And when I say here feeble, he's actually using a walker like a child to walk because of whatever reason it is. What I find strange is the PNP has actually gone back for DK Duncan, sorry, KD Knight, and at this stage of his life, I think he ought to be relaxed, possibly sipping a colada, peanut colada, or a coconut daiquiri, or something in the North Coast, or possibly maybe in the Riviera in France, or somewhere in Paris, looking at the monument of whatever they have there in Paris, called whatever it's called. I'm just lost for word as to why the PNP is bringing back some of these old stalwarts who, in my opinion, are feeble and are long gone. So what I want to look at is Desperate PNP 2025. It's clear to me from looking at what is actually happening that the PNP cannot say they are new, visionary, and moving forward. But instead, what the PNP ought to be labeled is desperate. Now, look at the gentleman on your screen. Just look at the gentleman on your screen, and you'll realize how desperate the PNP is to have brought a gentleman who is ill, because only illness could have actually resulted in Mr. KD Knight looking like this. And then there's another gentleman, I don't want to speak about him yet, possibly I'll do another video on him, to look at how feeble these persons are and how the PNP is willing to use these gentlemen to get power. Is what power looks like? Is this what winning an election look like? Is this what politics is about? Winning at all costs? I was always told by persons that I've interacted with and I've heard that desperate times call for desperate measures. And it's clear that the PNP is in a desperate time and is using desperate measure, not policies. And if someone is willing to use desperate strategies, it says to you that the person does not have a real plan, a real visionary, structured, systematic plan to do things. And therefore, they are resorting to desperate measures. Just giving you a little sneak of what was said by the feeble KD Knight. Look, gentlemen, on this, the left hand has the mic and the right hand has his walker. Look at gentlemen. This is not a good sign for the PNP at all. Look at the gentleman on your screen. He's having a difficulty balancing himself, difficulty walking. And the PNP has resorted to ask him to make a presentation. Desperate time calls for desperate measures. This is not a good look at all. This is not saying to me that the party is ready and has a plan for Jamaica. What this is saying to me, that the PNP is desperate. So because the PNP is desperate, is actually using desperate measures. If you're not desperate, you don't need to use desperate measures. If you have a plan, you can clearly articulate that plan, forward that plan, and let people buy into that plan. Where you do not have a plan, you're going to resort for desperate measures, which is exactly what is happening on your screen. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel as I continue to provide you with trusted information for you to use to make decisions. Desperate PNP 2025. What do you have to say?